Hello everyone, in this video I'll be teaching you the basics of Tally and we'll also be creating a journal entry in Tally. But before we get into installing and using Tally, let's understand what Tally actually is. So Tally is a popular and very powerful accounting and business management software, and it is mainly used to record financial transactions, manage accounts, generate invoices, track inventory, and prepare reports like profit and loss and balance sheets. And it is widely used by businesses, accountants, bookkeepers, and students to handle day to day accounting tasks easily and accurately. And small and medium enterprises, CA firms, and even learners use Tally because it simplifies accounting, taxation, and financial management in one place. So now that we have understood what Tally is and who uses it, let's install the Tally software. So as you can see over here, I'm in a brand new Google Chrome tab. So first let's search for Tally Prime download in the search bar over here. And over here, let's click on the first link over here from Tally Solutions. That's the company that made Tally. So let's click on download Tally Prime over here. And you can see this is the page that comes. Let's click on download on this Tally Prime over here, the RELS 7.0. Let's press on download and you can see over here it is downloading. And now over here you can see I'm in the downloads folder, and over here you can see the Tally setup is over here. So now let's double click on it to open, and over here you can see we're in the Tally setup manager. Now let's press on install over here and let's just wait for it to finish installing. Now you can see installation has been successful. And you can see over here it's installed like this with the application path, the release, and the application name. Let's press S, or let's press on this button to start Tally Prime. So as you can see over here, now Tally Prime is starting. Let's wait for it to open. And now over here you can see it says application startup. Tally Prime will start with the following settings. Click configure to change these settings. You can see it has set the country, it has set the accounting terminology, and it has set the company data path. Now this company data path over here, this is where all the companies will be stored, like all the companies that you create with Tally, it will be stored over here. So press accept over here. And you can see it says welcome to Tally Prime. Now over here you can see it asks for select the following options. First one is try it for free, educational. Second one is user license from network. Third one is reactivate from existing license. Last one is activate new license. Since we don't have any license or we don't really want to buy one, we can just press on the try it for free educational over here. So let's press on this. Now here it asks you to select a company. Now just press on create company for now, and you can see when you create a company, this is the area, this is the screen that will come up. And now for the company name, I think I'll just put Kshithij Inc. for now. Alright, Kshithij Incorporation. The mailing name, we'll just keep it Kshithij Inc. And the address, I don't think I really want to put anything. You can put an address if you want, or if you don't want it, you can just skip it by pressing the enter key. And you know Tally, it is mainly moved and used not really using the mouse like most other softwares, but using the keys like arrow keys, enter, space, escape, and shortcuts like alt K for creating the company and alt Y for the data and more, right? It is mostly used using shortcut keys and not really the mouse. Now since I'm in the UAE, it's not really asking me for a state. So I'm actually going to change this from UAE to India. So let's go up to India over here by pressing the up arrow key. India is right there. Let's press enter. And now let's go up, enter. If you want to go up to a previous option, you can press backspace to go up. And now you can see, since the country is in India, we can select the state. So for the state, let's just select Karnataka. There we go. The pin code, if you don't want to put it, you can just press enter to skip it. which is what I'm going to do. Here it's asking for the base currency symbol, which is already selected, the rupees, and formal name is INR. So it is asking for the financial year beginning from and the books beginning from. For this, for now, we'll just set it to 1st April 2025, which is the default option over here. And let's after you press enter, it will ask for accept, yes or no. If you want yes, you can just press enter. Now, after creating the company, this is how it will be looking like, with the gateway of tally over here and with just the current date and the data of the company in the left side over here. Now, over here in the gateway of tally, you can see there is 4 areas, there's 4 sections. There is masters, there is transactions, there is utilities, and there is reports, right? There is reports over here, and lastly, there is the quit button. Now, in the masters, if you press on create for the first one, it will ask you to create a group, a ledger, a currency, a voucher type. Under accounting masters and inventory masters, there's stocks and other stuff. Now, since we have understood a little bit about tally, let's create a journal entry. Now, to create a journal entry, first thing that we need to do is we need to create a ledger. So how do you create a ledger? You need to go to the create, right? You can go down and up by pressing the arrow keys. So go to create and then press enter. And then over here under accounting masters, you have to go down and select the second option, which is ledger. So select ledger and press enter. Now here in the start, it will ask you for the name of the ledger. Now let's just put an expense. You know what an expense is? It's an expense of the company. It's something that the company has to spend on. So for now, we'll just put wages expense. Wages expense, just like that. And if you want, you can put an alias. And now you have to select under. Now what is wages expense? Wages expense is an expense. So since it's really an indirect expense, you can go down over here and you can select indirect expense. There is indirect expense and there is direct expense, and there is also indirect income and there is also direct income, right? So for this, we'll press on indirect expenses. You can press enter, 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 and it will ask you to accept this, and you can press enter to accept it. Now you have just created your first ledger. If you want to view the ledger that you created, you can press escape and escape again and escape until you get to the gateway of tally. If you want to view it, you can go to chart of accounts over here. You can press on ledgers. You can press on F5, and you can see over here, you can see all our ledgers are there. There are actually 2 ledgers that gets created automatically when creating a company in tally, which are cash and profit and loss. Cash is under cash in hand and profit and loss is under just primary. And you can see the third one is the wages expense that we had created just about a minute ago. Now let's press escape to go back. Now let's create a few more ledgers. So let's go to create. Let's press on ledger. And let's name this ledger a revenue source. Let's just say we got the revenue. We got a donation received. Let's put donation received. You can press enter, enter. And since we received it, we count it as an income because money came into the business. So we put this as indirect incomes right there. Enter, enter, enter. You can see our second ledger has been created. Now for the last ledger, let's put this as travel expense. So travel expense, come down and we select indirect expenses because this is a travel expense. Let's go down over here and press accept. Now we have created 3 ledgers. Let's just quickly view it by going to chart of accounts, ledgers, and press F5 to view all of them. And if you can't remember the shortcuts, you can actually see all the shortcuts on the right side over here. You can see period, company, ledger view. This is what we pressed on. Other masters, change view, exception report, save view, apply filter, and multi-masters. So let's press F5 and you can see we have cash, donation received, profit and loss, travel expense, and wages expense. Now let's go back to gateway of tally. Now we want to create the journal entry for this. To create a journal entry, we need to go to transactions over here and press on vouchers. Now, what are vouchers? Vouchers are basically a proof of transaction. Like this transaction actually happened. We're setting the transaction amount, what it was in the vouchers over here. Now, let's go over here. Now, on the right side, you can see there is many types of voucher creations. There is contra, there is payment, there is receipt, there is journal, there is sales and purchase and other vouchers. Now what we want to create a journal entry. So we have to press on the journal over here. Now over here you can see it asks for list of ledger accounts and you can also create a ledger. So let's first put the donation received. So first let's actually select travel expense. Now let's put this, we have to put this as debit since money is going out of the business. Let's set it around 20,000 rupees. Now let's put wages expense over here. And for this one, we'll put it as, let's put this as about 30,000, right? And now lastly, let's put the donation received. And we'll put this as 50,000. Now here you can see the debits and credits match up to 50,000 and 50,000. And in narration, you can put like what you changed. But for now, we'll just accept this and press accept. There you go. You have just created your first journal entry. Now you can actually view what transaction you did. If you press escape and go back to gateway of tally. If you go down to, for example, profit and loss, you can see over here indirect expenses is 50,000 and indirect incomes is also 50,000. If you want to check what's the indirect expenses, you can either press on this or just press enter and you can see travel expense, it was debit 20,000, wages expense was debit 30,000. If you go back and check indirect incomes, you can see donation received was 50,000 rupees. That's really cool, right? So that's pretty much just the absolute basics of tally and how you create a ledger and journal entry in it. I hope you like this video and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye.